L5, there was just anything RR could do at all. They just had to sit there and wait for the next fight and hope for a miracle that just simply never came.
Yeah, and whenever they were trying to team fight, of course, L5 turned all that around and made it into a horrible disaster all the time. But let's go with game number 2. It is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, actually picked by L5. Of course, RR will be looking for the first man, first pick. I would like to see them opening up on the first man and maybe even try to take Genji or even Martheo with the extra wave clear with the strong solo lane. I'm pretty sure someone from the team should be prepared with the stronger picks. They can follow with the meta, maybe bring in the double support, Cho'Gao once more. I think that's also a very good option. When we're going against a stronger team, you should at least try and bring in something new.
Well, I think that one of these options that you just suggested was there were quite a few is going to be the way to do it, but let's find out what they decide to bring to the table. We could see the throwaway ban here to grab the strong S-tier first pick hero. They could try to go for the Ariel pick themselves. They couldn't do it last game because L5 had first ban by default. So that was kind of an issue for them if they wanted to run down that path. So now they have the opportunity to, in every other game they lose, take the first pick and take the Ariel first pick, which has been heavily picked today. In fact, of 5 first pick, or of 5 games where, you know, of all 5 games, first pick took Ariel 4 of 5 in our 5 games today. So we'll see if RRR makes it 5 for 6.
Banning Uther from the beginning. Pretty sure they want to bring in Ariel this time. I think Ariel first pick. And maybe bring in their own Vala Trinity. That's a strong way to go against L5 especially. And it is open now.
Notice the lack of the Genji ban. We will see Genji this game. The question is who's playing it. Or if they want the Oriole here, they could take it, but L5 is not going to ban the Genji. They want to take it. So Oriole now 5 of 6 games first picked by the first pick team. Very low win rate, obviously, as a result, but this feels like a Genji pick. Uther removed, so
you can bring in the supports later on. Maybe using Genji with Avatar or even some more global pressure. There's a Genji and the Stitches. Malfurion seems to be the pair, but oftentimes and a little rarely, but some Korean teams have been using Kel'Thuz as a pair up. So we may actually see some Kel'Thuz in action for the wave clear also.
Vala, Tassadar.
There we go.
This was pretty obvious. Look at that win rate. That is disgusting, by the way. 16 and 8. That is insane. 24 games played, 75%.
Yeah, 67%. That's...
Or yeah, sorry, 67%.
There's the NA math.
NA math.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I'm still an NA caster.
We need calculators here. TI-83s. We don't have it here, so... Well, second ban for L5. It's kind of an odd ban. They already banned... They can go towards a tank ban because they picked Stitches, banned an Ubarak. If they want to go in all in with the Genji, well, banning Arthas is an okay solo laner, and also another way, Diablo here.
So this means probably Chromie pick, I feel like. This is the secondary DPS, but doesn't necessarily have to be that. But we've seen the Diablo pick against Oriole a lot because they want to have the counter to the Aegis, the burst damage on the Vala. This is a map we've seen a lot of Chromie. Also, Chromie's very good at denying the Webweaver turn-ins. It's probably about EZZ's hero here. Probably going to be the Tastar again, you have to think. But we'll see if she's the one who plays Vala, because we have seen that actually. It's just kind of funny that she played Tastar last game. So kind of wondering how this is going to all work out in the end. So kind of protection against what HGC is running here if it's the Vala. That's what they're going to be talking about right now. As to what do we ban to make sure that Vala is safe. I don't think they will go all in on a Chromie ban because that's just too out there right now, and Chromie's not that hard of a counter. But they definitely don't have any ideas here as the time ticks down. Will be Li Ming.
Okay, seems like even more that HGC will be playing on Tastar right now with the leaving ban. I thought a pair-up duo along with Stitches with some CC was also okay. Of course, there's Malfurion, there's lots of CC available, but Gul'dan, haven't seen you in a while.
Okay.
There's the wave clear, as we mentioned.
Well, it's not the Chromie pick that they're worried about the Diablo with, it's the Gul'dan pick. Malthael for strong soul laning. This was something you wanted RR to pick early, potentially, to control lanes. It's given now to L5. Really strong team fighting comp for them so far. And it doesn't feel all in any way. You have strong initiation with Horrify. You have that coupled with then the Tormented Souls, the Bile coming out from Stitches. Genji can rip everybody apart during the Horrify. If you get the Horrify off, and Ariel can't heal Vala, the entire composition of RR falls apart immediately at that moment. So the positioning of Ariel is going to be so critical.
I think L5 has a weak support now without Uther, no Ariel, Tassadar. They will be lacking in sustain. I think if RR wants to drag this into a long team fight, I think they have a very good chance right now with the draft. Just bring in those very strong solo tanks. There we go, ETC with the very strong pressure in all lanes, especially on Spider Queen, and also Muradin, who can tank so much with all the sustain. If Vala stays along during the team fight, this is a winnable team comp.
Yeah, I really like the ETC pick because this is another way to threaten the Gul'dan. They lost the Diablo that they would have potentially wanted to use to threaten the Gul'dan, to dive in, get that kill. And the early game is going to be a lot more difficult for L5 now. They're not going to dominate that 4-man rotation as much as they wanted to with the solo lane of Malthael in top. Now they're going to have to play a lot more passively. And again, Malfurion. The entire idea for L5 is to use these silences, the Horrify, the fear coming out to disrupt the healing of Ariel, to actually win with longer sustained fight over Vala, who doesn't have that healing in that moment. Blow up the Vala first, you win the game. That's the idea coming out with the last pick Malfurion here and the Gul'dan. Let's see if RR with this draft that I feel is much more solid, way better than their draft in game number 1. We see an improvement already. Can they tie us up? Or is L5 going to have another dominant game on Tomb of the Spider Queen? L5, Hooligan on Stitches, SC on Genji, Jungha on Malthael, STE on Gul'dan, and Swoi on Malfurion.
RRR, Odok on Vala, MSG on ETC, EZZ on Tastar, Kong on Muradin, and take a look on Ariel.
Well
met.
Well met.
Well, they do have the sustain. I like the double tank in the front line and double support, all in Vala. The damage will be massive, but if you can hold that moment, take in all the damage, try not to get the damage, and if you can sustain, then if you draw into longer fight, RRR still has a very good chance of winning the team fight, and L5 will be lacking in the longer team fight with the sustain coming out from Malfurion.
Root trust there. Already shown. We didn't talk too much about the Malfurion follow-up for the roots, or sorry, for the hooks, but it's another reason why Malfurion is taken here, plus the Twilight Dream. Okay, Odog taking a lot of damage, no heals. Tekaluk had the hope available, but this is already not boding well for him considering he had it available. The root here for the zone, EGZ can't get back in, already used Dimensional Shift, and that's going to be the double. Rough start here for RR already.
That's not the... Pretty sure that's not the start they wanted to go with. And I guess the heals were on cooldown, and of course, if you, as a Vala, if you don't do damage, there's no hope coming in, then which means no healing coming in. So you have to be super aggressive and doing at least some kiting when you're going back away.
Yeah, in this case, it was on Tekaluk. Unless off screen, or maybe I just missed it, but I don't think so. He just didn't have his heal on such an incredibly low cooldown. He just didn't heal. Maybe he thought that Volla was going to get away somehow, but that's just not the case. Okay, so this is going to be another turn-in attempt here for L5. Looks like this time it might be the charm. Nope, HGC denies with the Psystorm. Very good turn-in denial RR has with that Psystorm, with obviously the multi-shot coming out from Volla.
With that few deaths at the beginning of the game, which they should be pressuring the bot lane super hard, and they cannot because look at the damage coming off from Gul'dan. EZ is taking so much damage. Even ETC. Oh, look at that bold move from SCSC saying, "Get out of here."
Gul'dan is not going to be insanely powerful in team fights because his damage is too slow for the sustained healing. It's going to be about Horrify. So what we're seeing from him now in lane is cool when he gets those big picks and stuff, or so the big burn damage. Hold that thought. Heroes a money power slide here. That's why we wanted to see that EGC pick, and already it's doing work. Can Kong get the Stormbolt? He does, and that's going to be the first kill here for RRR. But will he get jumped on here? The turnaround is real.
And SCSC is looking for the perfect spot to go in with the Swift Strike. Maybe it's already been used. It's on cooldown, it seems like.
But to go back to my point just really briefly here, the Gul'dan's damage is very slow, right? That's why they need potentially hooks or the Malthael's damage to come in on top of it. But the Dragon Blade's going to be the burst damage. But the idea post 10 is to get the Horrify so that the heals don't come out at all, so that the burn damage coming out from the Fell build here from level 1 from Gul'dan can actually kill Oduk in that small window of time. But the fact that they are already 4-1, they're finding these picks, they're finding these kills before 10, before the big CCs come out, the silences as well from Swoy, that's a worry for me.
Yeah, that's a big worry, and Kong gets taken out from the other side. He decided that there was no chance of him living, so he went to the other side. SCS looking for another kill. There's a deflect. The heal's coming out, though, saving them. SCS gets very low. MSG just needs one more hit. There's a Storm to finish off and get the kill.
He's a bit cocky there, but he thought the deflect damage would be enough. Not quite. So RR puts another kill on the scoreboard. L5 playing greedy here, and RR definitely should take their advantages where they have them now. They have only half of the required gems to turn in, but depositing a few here after clearing the waves would be nice. Still down a talent tier. So looks like they just want to try to look for maybe another pick or something else. They're not actually attempting to turn in right now. Very, very short death timer at this stage in the game.
A lot of damage put out, and CSC keeps on harassing from the side, exactly what you should do as a Genji player. And they're looking for, wow, diving all the way in. They're going in all in. Notice the positioning of Kong has been the main problem for RR oftentimes. He doesn't do much, well, and MSG comes out from the side now.
We talk about the damage onto Oduk too for a second. Hold that thought. I don't have time to talk about it. We just see a big pick. Lots of gems dropped here. Kong can't get all of them either. Looks like about 7 or 8 will actually be completely dropped.
They just have to back out. They have no Volla, no damage. There was no reason to really stay there.
The damage that goes on the Volla from the Fell coming in first, that's actually what the big problem is in some of these exchanges, is because once Volla is down to 20% health, she can't attack anymore. And if she can't attack, as you were saying earlier, no hope is generated. And if no hope is generated, there's no heal, and the Oriole pick doesn't matter. So when STE is getting these first few shots onto Oduk early, that is what is creating a big issue. Junga actually going to get caught with the overextension here, but they got the Web Weavers. That's what matters more. Still a nice pick for RR. Definitely going to make this more bearable. So an overextension there for sure by Malthael. But again, the big picture story is they got the Web Weavers.
And they have to soak in for 10. Of course, 1.5 level lead already for L5 will be big, but they still have the Trinity. I think with the extra protection after 10, they have a big chance of coming back. If they do everything right, that will be the biggest and the hardest part to come back, when SCS is always harassing from the side. Oftentimes, as we mentioned so many times, they just ban Genji because Genji is super powerful, but also just annoying. There's the Horrify.
Well, this one's just for
oh, the
fan service. The hook is sick.
No way you're going back home with their power slide.
Oh, man. I was like, aha, we're going to get you for sure. And it totally fails. And then and Hooligan's like, nah, guys, I got this. Don't worry. I'll bring him right back. He's like, come back here, man.
Man.
All right. That's a long cooldown, but
It was like giving hope, but no way, man. That was just sad to watch as ETC was looking for his life, and they're going for the boss.
Well, they got Malthael, so Malthael and Gul'dan, this boss is getting trashed right now as Genji's just sitting in the mid lane, just trying to make sure they don't have turn-ins. 1v4, he's able to stop Aurora from turning in a single gem, not even one turn-in this game. And he's just over there poking at him as he's, hey, gems, I don't think you guys can do that. No, we're working on the boss. Maybe try again later. This top fort going down was intentional. That they specifically targeted the top fort so that when they could do the follow-up boss before Aurora had 10, then we get this, oh, EGT with a risky Hearth location. She's going to go down for sure, but the boss is being dealt with back there. Tastar's not there to help clear. Missed root, but this will still be the kill.
Doesn't matter. She already shifted and there was no escape, and this boss is getting taken out, but already close to a 3-level lead for L5. That's very big gap still. They need to wait for 10. They still have a chance, okay? The big Mosh can come in. Oh, it's Strafe actually. Oh. I wasn't expecting Strafe to come out, actually.
It's...
Oh, Haymaker!
You can make arguments for it, I suppose, but I would have liked to see the Rain as well, but it seems like Strafe has just it's permeated the meta. We almost never see Rain anymore. I'm not mad about the Strafe. I'm just trying to reinforce your point here, but at the same time, the Haymaker gives opportunities for picks, but with all the mobility of Genji, he's going to be the only one you're really going to have reasonable hits onto. You hit Hooligan, his bile is going to get more value, so worried about the Haymaker pick here for Kong's super aggressive style. Doesn't have Avatar.
Yeah, he's using it, but the entire front line is gone. There's the Dragon Blade, wiping off everyone. It doesn't even matter. There's a Horrify. The reset's coming in for Tekalug, is looking for his life. SCSC completes his quest too.
Aegis is going to be used here, but it won't matter. Buying them time. Every single red gem is on the floor, despawning here. Aurora will have 0 gems carried when they respawn. They have quick death timers here because they're fully 3 levels behind right now, but they're not going to come back with any gems. They're not going to defend this keep. L5, this is not necessarily going to win the game here, but if RR makes an overextension, perhaps they can. MSG up on the front lines here. Speaking of overextension, does get the 2-man Mosh, but is hooked out of it.
Oh, man.
This could be game if they end up getting the second wipe. 2 wipes back to back. Oh, looks like it's going to happen.
Does get healed, but not enough. The damage is massive coming out from L5. They want to finish the game before 10 minutes. Kong comes back. Does have Haymaker, though. Does not have Avatar. Cannot stop this from happening.
Where's our Speedruns Live? Where's our Speedruns host for this stream, man? This looks like a speedrun. A Tomb of the Spider Queen nearly breaking sub 10 hype.
59,
oh,
10
on the dot.
And exactly at 10.
Set it in the speed records here for Tomb of the Spider Queen in Korea. Oh, the double wipe. Oh, respawns, thanks. I needed some more EXP. Thank you, come in. The extension there by ETC, you could see the idea was, okay, we're gonna hit the Mosh, but after the Mosh is canceled by the hook, that was DED, man, and this series has definitely been, well, we expected it to be one-sided, but we did not expect the domination. New L5 is a good team, holes on the roster, problems with Hooligan, but in this series, they are just going to stop RR. We talked about how RR dies in this movie, and spoiler alert, RR dies in Game 3, okay? That's what it feels like right now. And RR is falling apart. Bible thumps indeed. Sad days for RR, but with how this series is going, I don't know if they're going to be able to turn it around, G-Clef.
I thought they had a very solid draft, but after looking their heroics at 10, seemed like they were still lost. Maybe after the break, they will find themselves together. Maybe they'll have some feedbacks. Guys, why Haymaker? Please, let's go with Avatar if you do, Muradin, please. And let's just try to have some comeback. Let's just try to win some team fights at least. It's going to be tough.
Well, that is going to be it for our first 2 games. We're going to have that break you just mentioned. We'll see if RR can get themselves together to try to mount up a comeback here against L5 when we come back in just a few.